Tonight, you'll join Arrow, a young air spirit, on a magical journey of discovery. Together with his friends, Ember, the fire spirit, and Star, the celestial being, you'll explore peaceful meadows, enchanted forests, and starlit gardens. As you listen, let your breathing slow and become gentle, just like Arrow will do. This is a story about finding the quiet, calm place that exists inside all of us. Close your eyes, get cozy, and let the adventure begin. High above the rolling hills and flowering meadows, Arrow danced through the sky with endless energy. He was a young air spirit, no bigger than a butterfly, with shimmering wings that caught the sunlight like soap bubbles. Arrow loved to zoom between the clouds, play tag with the birds, and race the gentle breezes that carried dandelion seeds across the land. But even though Arrow delighted in his flights, something felt different lately. No matter how fast he flew, or how many loop-de-loops he made through the clouds, he couldn't seem to settle the buzzing feeling inside his heart. It was like having too many thoughts swirling around at once, making it hard to enjoy the beautiful world around him. One afternoon, as Arrow practiced his favorite spiral dive through a patch of fluffy white clouds, he noticed he felt more scattered than usual. His wings fluttered anxiously, and his mind jumped from thought to thought like a grasshopper in a field. He tried flying faster, thinking that might help, but the restless feeling only grew stronger. Floating near a rainbow that arced across the valley below, Arrow sighed a tiny, whispery sigh. He watched other creatures going about their day with such peaceful purpose. The deer grazed calmly in the meadow, the fish swam smoothly in the crystal stream, and the flowers swayed gently. Everyone seemed to know how to be still and content, but Arrow felt like he'd forgotten how to slow down. As the sun began to paint the sky in soft shades of orange and pink, Arrow decided to rest on the branch of an ancient oak tree. The moment he landed, he felt something wonderful and surprising. The tree seemed to hum, and its energy felt like the most comfortable blanket Arrow had ever experienced. The old oak's leaves rustled softly, and Arrow heard a voice as gentle as morning dew. It was Sage, the tree spirit, who had been watching over this forest for hundreds of years. Sage's presence felt like warm honey and fresh earth, and his words came slowly and kindly. Sage told Arrow that many young spirits experienced exactly what he was feeling. The wise tree explained that sometimes we forget how to find the peaceful, quiet place that lives in our hearts. He spoke of an ancient practice called meditation, something that could help any spirit, no matter how restless, discover their inner calm. Arrow's wings stopped their anxious fluttering as he listened. Sage's voice reminded him of the sound rain makes on leaves, or the gentle gurgle of a babbling brook. The tree spirit invited Arrow to return tomorrow evening, when the forest would be lit by moonbeams and fireflies. Sage promised to teach him the first lesson in finding his peaceful center. That night, as Arrow found a cozy spot in a hollowed-out cloud to sleep, he felt something new. Instead of his usual scattered thoughts, he found himself thinking about Sage's kind words and the promise of tomorrow's lesson. For the first time in many days, Arrow felt a tiny seed of hope growing in his chest. As he drifted off to sleep, surrounded by the soft whispers of night breezes and the distant song of crickets, Arrow dreamed of finding the calm, still place that Sage had described. He wasn't rushing or racing or spinning through the sky. Instead, he was simply floating peacefully, feeling completely at home in his own spirit. The moon smiled down at the sleeping air spirit, and the stars twinkled their approval. Tomorrow would bring the beginning of a beautiful adventure, one that would teach Arrow like a treasure hidden in the depths of his own heart. As the first rays of dawn began to paint the horizon with soft pastels, the memory of his dream filled him with a warm, happy feeling that seemed to glow from the center of his being. He stretched his delicate wings and felt something new, a sense of anticipation mixed with serenity that he had never experienced before. High above the awakening world, Arrow practiced gentle spirals through the morning mist. But this time, his movements felt different. Instead of racing frantically from cloud to cloud, he found himself gliding with purpose and grace. Each turn felt intentional. Each breath of air through his wings felt meaningful. The restless energy that had once driven him to exhaustion now transformed into something more like joyful curiosity. The forest below began to stir as woodland creatures started their daily routines, and Arrow noticed how each animal seemed to move with its own perfect rhythm. The rabbits hopped with bouncing enthusiasm, the squirrels scampered with playful energy, and the birds sang with clear, melodious voices. For the first time, Arrow felt like he belonged to this symphony of natural harmony, rather than feeling separate from it. The next evening, as the forest began to glow with the soft light of fireflies and the gentle silver of moonbeams, Arrow returned to Sage's ancient oak tree. The wise tree spirit welcomed him warmly, his leaves whispering a greeting that sounded like a lullaby. But Arrow wasn't alone. 2 other young spirits had also come to learn from Sage. The first was Ember, a gentle fire spirit who glowed like the warm coals of a cozy campfire. Her light danced softly, never harsh or bright, and her presence felt like sitting by a fireplace on a chilly evening. Ember explained that she too had been feeling restless, her flames sometimes flickering with worry instead of dancing with joy. The second new friend was Star, a celestial being who sparkled like crystal caught in moonlight. Star's glow was soft and steady, like the gentlest nightlight, and when she spoke, her voice tinkled like tiny silver bells. She told the group that even though she came from the peaceful night sky, she sometimes felt overwhelmed by all the thoughts and feelings that swirled through her cosmic heart. Sage's presence enveloped all 3 young spirits like the most comfortable embrace. He told them that tonight they would begin their journey together, supporting each other as they discovered the art of meditation. The ancient tree explained that meditation was simply the practice of becoming friends with their own breath and learning to notice their thoughts without getting caught up in them. In a special clearing, surrounded by glowing mushrooms and soft moss, Sage guided the three friends through their first lesson. He asked them to find comfortable positions, Arrow floating gently in the air, Ember resting on a smooth stone, and Star hovering just above a patch of moonlit clover. Sage's first teaching was about breathing. He invited them to notice how their breath moved in and out naturally, without them having to think about it. Arrow discovered that when he paid attention to his breathing, his wings stopped their nervous fluttering. Ember noticed that her flames grew steadier and warmer when she focused on the gentle rhythm of her breath. Star found that her sparkles became more peaceful. The wise tree spirit taught them to count their breaths, starting with 1 and going up to 5, then starting over again. When their minds wandered, which Sage assured them was perfectly normal, they could simply notice where their thoughts had gone and gently bring their attention back to counting. As the three friends practiced together, something magical happened. The clearing seemed to fill with an even softer light. The nightbirds sang more sweetly. The flowers released their most lovely fragrances, and even the gentle stream that flowed nearby seemed to babble more softly. Arrow found that for the first time in days, his mind wasn't jumping from thought to thought. Instead, he felt like he was floating in a warm, peaceful bubble where everything was just right. Ember's flames glowed. Star's light became so gentle and beautiful that the fireflies gathered around her, adding their soft glow to hers. When their practice was complete, Sage thanked the three friends for their openness and dedication. He told them that what they had experienced tonight was just the beginning. Tomorrow evening, they would meet again to explore the next part of their journey, learning to watch their thoughts like clouds drifting across the sky. As Arrow floated home through the peaceful night air, he felt different. The restless buzzing in his heart had quieted to a gentle hum, and for the first time in so long, he felt truly at ease. He thought about Ember's warm, steady glow and Star's peaceful sparkles, grateful for the new friendships that were blossoming. That night, Arrow slept more deeply than he had in weeks. His dreams were filled with soft clouds, gentle breathing, and the comforting presence of Sage, Ember, and Star. He couldn't wait for tomorrow's lesson, excited to continue discovering the peaceful place that was growing stronger inside his heart. When morning came, Arrow awoke, feeling refreshed in a way he had almost forgotten was possible. The anxious flutter in his wings had been replaced by a steady, comfortable rhythm that matched the gentle beating of his spirit heart. As he prepared for the day ahead, he found himself moving more slowly and deliberately, savoring each moment instead of rushing toward the next activity. During the day, Arrow practiced what he had begun to understand from Sage's teaching. When he felt his thoughts beginning to scatter like leaves in a storm, he would pause and remember the counting of his breath. 1 breath in, 1 breath out. Each one bringing him back to the calm center he was beginning to recognize and trust. The other air spirits noticed the change in their young friend. Where once Arrow had zipped past them in a blur of restless energy, now he would pause to share a gentle greeting or simply float peacefully alongside them for a while. His presence seemed to bring a soothing quality to their own flights, like a calming melody that helped everyone find their natural rhythm. On the third evening, Arrow, Ember, and Star returned to find Sage waiting for them in a place they had never seen before. Beyond the familiar clearing, the ancient tree spirit had revealed a hidden garden that seemed to exist in a pocket of pure magic, and every plant in the garden glowed with its own gentle light. Sage welcomed his 3 students with even greater warmth than before, his joy at their progress radiating through every leaf and branch. He told them that tonight they would complete their journey by discovering the most important secret of all, the quiet sanctuary that existed within each of their hearts. The wise tree spirit guided them to comfortable spots around the starlit pond. This time, their meditation would be different. Instead of just focusing on their breath, Sage would teach them to observe their thoughts and feelings like friendly visitors, noticing them without getting swept away. As they settled into their peaceful positions, Sage's gentle voice floated through the garden like the sweetest music. He invited them to breathe naturally and easily, just as they had practiced before. But tonight, when thoughts appeared in their minds, they would imagine those thoughts as soft, fluffy clouds drifting across a bright blue sky. Arrow discovered something wonderful as he practiced. When a thought about tomorrow's adventures popped into his mind, instead of chasing after it or trying to push it away, he could simply watch it float by like a cloud. The thought didn't disappear, but it didn't pull him away from his peaceful feeling either. He found he could be friendly with his thoughts while staying grounded in his calm center. Ember noticed that when feelings of excitement or worry arose, she could treat them the same way. Her emotions were like the gentle flames that danced in her spirit, beautiful and natural, but not something she needed to feed or fight. She could simply let them flicker and flow while maintaining her steady, warm glow. Star experienced something truly magical. As she watched her thoughts drift by like cosmic dust across the night sky, she began to feel a connection to something vast and peaceful. It was as if she had found the quiet space between the stars, a place of infinite calm that had always been part of her celestial nature. As the 3 friends practiced together in the sacred garden, the most extraordinary thing happened. They began to feel not just their own peace, but a connection to each other and to all the living things around them. The flowers seemed to breathe with them. The pond reflected their calm energy, and even the stones beneath them seemed to pulse with gentle life. Sage's voice grew even softer as he guided them deeper into their practice. He told them that what they were experiencing was their true nature, the peaceful, joyful, loving essence that was always present beneath any restlessness or worry. This quiet place wasn't something they had to create or find outside themselves. It was something they could always return to, like coming home after a long journey. When their meditation came to an end, the three friends opened their eyes slowly, feeling as if they had awakened from the most refreshing sleep. The garden around them seemed even more beautiful than before, and they felt so grateful for the journey they had shared together. Sage shared his final teaching with them. He explained that they could now carry this peace with them wherever they went. Any time they felt restless or scattered, they could simply remember to breathe, watch their thoughts like gentle clouds, and return to the quiet sanctuary in their hearts. Arrow felt transformed. The restless buzzing that had troubled him was gone, replaced by a steady, joyful calm. He knew that he could still fly fast and play in the clouds, but now he could also find perfect stillness whenever he needed it. Ember's flames now glowed with a deep, peaceful warmth that made her feel more like herself than ever before. Star sparkled with a gentle, steady light that seemed to come from the very heart of the universe. As the three friends said goodbye to Sage and prepared to return to their homes, they promised to continue practicing together. They had become more than friends. They had become companions on the beautiful journey of discovering their own inner peace. Arrow floated home, his heart full of gratitude and his spirit perfectly calm. He had understood that the peace he had been searching for in his wild flights through the clouds had always been waiting patiently inside him, as constant and reliable as his own breath. As he settled into his favorite resting spot among the softest clouds, Arrow reflected on the remarkable transformation he had experienced. The restless spirit who had begun this journey just 3 nights ago felt like a dear friend from long ago, someone he remembered fondly but no longer needed to be. In place of that scattered energy, he now carried a deep well of tranquility that seemed to grow stronger each time he returned to it. The night breeze carried the gentle sounds of the forest below. Arrow could almost feel the wise tree's approval drifting up through the darkness, a quiet blessing that wrapped around him like the softest blanket. He knew that tomorrow would bring new adventures, but now he also knew that he would meet them from a place of inner stillness and joy. Before drifting off to sleep, Arrow sent out a thought of gratitude to Ember and Star, wherever they might be resting. The friendship they had formed through their shared journey felt like a golden thread connecting their hearts, a reminder that peace becomes even more beautiful when it is discovered and shared together. With this warm feeling filling his entire being, Arrow closed his eyes and welcomed the gentle embrace of peaceful sleep. And so, Arrow found his inner peace, just as you can find yours. As you drift off to sleep tonight, remember that you have your own quiet sanctuary inside your heart, just like Arrow, Ember, and Star discovered. You can always return to this peaceful place by taking slow, gentle breaths and letting your thoughts drift by like soft clouds. Good night, and may you sleep as peacefully as Arrow in his cozy cloud, surrounded by the love and calm that lives forever in your heart.